Conscious to the fact that I could feel every hole in my body. It felt like someone had took a hot steak out of a fire and started poking in every hole.
Tonight, the final part of our exclusive interview with former Oakland Police Captain Ersie Joyner and how he survived 22 bullet wounds. Joyner was shot during a gun battle with the men who tried to rob him, and at the hospital, he had a message he wanted his doctor to tell his family. KTVU's Andre Sr. is here now with that message and why the doctor said Joyner is a patient he will never forget.
Well, Julie, by the time Ersie Joyner made it to the hospital, he said the pain was so intense he no longer wanted to continue. It is a part of gun violence you don't always hear about, the excruciating pain suffered and the efforts made by doctors to save a life. As Ersie Joyner laid on the concrete of this Chevron gas station off Castro Street in Oakland last October, quick-thinking police officers alerted by ShotSpotter jumped into action.
I was very aware and conscious of my medical condition. I knew that I had a lot of internal bleeding. I could feel the blood filling up in my torso on the car ride.
Putting him in the back of a police cruiser and rushing him to Highland Hospital. A crucial decision, one that resulted in Joyner ending up in the operating room, this operating room, within 20 minutes of his injuries.
Patients that come in that shot up, that are in shock like that, the mortality rate's very high.
It didn't hurt either that the doctor who treated Joyner, Timothy Browder, is the trauma medical director for Alameda County Health System Highland Hospital.
He was in pain, he was sweating, what we call diaphoretic, clearly in shock just looking at him. Once I got close, I saw all the holes all over his body, and he was actively bleeding from a lot of those injuries.
It was at this point that Joyner said all the adrenaline in his body started to wear off and the reality of what had just happened truly began to set in.
I became conscious to the fact that I could feel every hole in my body. It felt like someone had took a hot steak out of a fire and started poking in every hole. The pain became so overwhelming that I no longer wanted to continue.
During the excruciating pain consuming him, he said something to Dr. Browder what he thought could have been the last words he'd ever utter.
And I said, hey, I got a message for you to give to my family.
But Browder's response was not what you might expect.
He grabbed my hand off, he put the mask back on, and he says, you're going to tell him yourself. That's the last thing I remember.
I told him that he was going to be okay and that I had him and that I was going to take care of him and that he'd be all right. I know he was scared, and understandably so.
Joyner would eventually be put under anesthesia while doctors removed bullets from places like his torso, back, legs, and ankles, and closed his myriad of bullet wounds. In at least 2 instances, bullets went through one thigh, exited the other side, then tore through the thighs on his other leg before exiting his body. But when you watch Joyner walk and move around today, there is no evidence he suffered so much damage. One of the reasons?
He comes here 3 times a week and takes care of business.
If not for the consistency and the work that Chris put into my body for strength and conditioning, I more than likely wouldn't have survived October 21st.
A stunning story of survival that forged a bond between Joyner and Browder.
To this day, we still communicate via text because I'm so grateful that he saved my life.
I really enjoyed helping him, taking care of him. It was like one of those rare times and you get somebody and it really sticks in your brain. I'll remember him forever.
What happened to Joyner, though, only further highlights an ongoing issue in Oakland, gun violence, something Browder says he is seeing more of lately.
We do see a large number of gunshot wounds and violence-related injuries. So it keeps us busy.
109 people have been killed in Oakland on the average for 55 years.
And it's a problem that Joyner fought to combat during his years on the force. He helped head up OPD's Ceasefire, a successful violence intervention program credited with bringing down Oakland's gun homicide rates.
I believe the ceasefire model that has been implemented throughout the country is the best 21st century way of addressing 21st century crime.
Outreach work, in-person meetings, counseling, and many of the other key elements of the program began to suffer because of the pandemic. It's an issue that runs parallel to statistics that show 2021 was the deadliest year in Oakland since 2006.
I can tell you that I wish there are things that I could forget, but I will never be able to forget in dealing with families who have lost people, dealing on the other end of families who have lost people because they decided to actually pick up a gun and kill someone.
Violence that nearly took the life of a man who for many years and by many accounts successfully tried to get it under control. And for the surgeon on the front lines battling every day to save lives, Joyner's survival is a bright spot.
And some people might call that a miracle, right? It's a privilege to take care of all of our patients in the community, but definitely when we get someone that's served like he has and has protected this community his entire career, his entire life, to be able to give back and help him is really, hits home.
Well, the three other suspects, Marlon King and Commandre King, their brothers, and getaway driver Joshua Hales were all charged with the murder of the man Joyner shot and killed that day, Dasani Gardner. They're all charged with second-degree murder of Joyner and are scheduled to enter pleas 1 week from today. Joyner says he's never given any thought to what should happen to these men. He says that's for the judicial system to handle, Julie.
And Andre, he faced 3 men that day, 1:30 in the afternoon, broad daylight. He was forced to shoot and kill, he says, one of those men. Did he talk about that?
He says he never second guesses what he did that day. He had nowhere to run for cover. Those men were right on him and they had their guns on him. He had to make a split decision to save his life. And I can add this. He says he didn't want his family driving by that gas station knowing that's where their father died. So it inspired him to fight.
Yeah,
really
just a remarkable, incredible story of survival. Andre, thank you. And that concludes our 3-part special on Joyner's story of survival. You can find all of the stories plus extended cuts of our exclusive interview with him on our website. Just go to ktvu.com.